Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am Power Symphonic. So Friday evening, it absolutely hammered it down, but I travelled to Wolverhampton. It's only 23 minutes or 20 to 25 minutes on the train, depending which one you get, because one of them stops at about several stops and the other one just stops at Telford and then goes straight to Wolverhampton. But I went to a gig and I absolutely loved every second of it. So got the train, got to Wolverhampton, and I mentioned through this, you mentioned about the bands that I seen, but I got to Wolverhampton and it was raining really bad. So I went to it's called now the Halls. It was like the Civic Hall, but they changed it to the Halls. And since they've reopened it, the first gig that I actually went there, I went to see a Monomarth with my good friend, but this wasn't a Monomarth gig, but I went to that one with my good friend Stewie. So since it's become the Halls, this was the second concert that I went to. Got outside the venue, it was hammering it down. There's like a walkway which goes under like office flats or block flats or something like that, or office block or something. And a load of people were under there, and I went under there to take shelter, and it was still hammering it down. And 30 minutes before we went in, the guy said, if anybody for the gig, you have to queue around there. So we all went round and queued and waited there in the rain. I got chatting to a guy, some cool guy, and he's from Spanish, from Spain, but he lives in Crewe. It just says he came all the way from Crewe, which was awesome. Showed him my Saxon tattoo, because that's the band I seen, and showed him my Aussie Dio and whatnot. We had a chat about the bands and all that sort of stuff, and he had problems with his ticket, because me, during the day, on the way back from work, I checked my phone and I checked the ticket, and it said, this is not your ticket, you have to download the Halls app, which I was like, oh, not another silly app that you have to download. So I downloaded the app, and then I had a good job trying to get it, but eventually, as I got off the bus and I got back here, managed to sort it all out, luckily. And then obviously I went for a shower and then went to Wolverhampton. But yeah, he was struggling, and I was like, I hope the dude got in. I hope he got in, because we was all going in and he was standing there struggling. And I said, speak to a member of staff. And then after the gig, which I mentioned, I did chat later on, I chatted to him on the train station as I was on my way home. Should have really got his Facebook or something, because he seemed a pretty cool guy, and he seems to like his metal, and he seemed like in his 20s or something, but he seemed to have good knowledge, and he seemed pretty cool. So I thought somebody who could, another gig buddy. But yeah, I got inside the venue and literally was in there. I didn't stand right at the front because, I'm getting old. I'm in my 40s and that sort of stuff. And back and old age, loss of hearing, all that sort of stuff as you get older. But where the mixing desk is, I stood there on the barrier. Some bloke must have been about 6 foot something, decided that he'd come over and he see me and just decided to stand in front of me. And then I moved across a little, and I just see him look round, and he moved a little to stand in front of me again. And I thought, don't know what was the matter with him, but he said something, but I moved left, and that's when I think he just wanted to get to the barrier. So I said, you know what, have the barrier, nick us, do you? So I gave him the barrier, because I was standing to one side. And yeah, the first act that came on was Udo Dirkschneider. So for people that don't know Udo Dirkschneider, he was the original vocalist for the German heavy speed power metal band Accept. Absolutely incredible. It was the 40th anniversary of their album Balls to the Wall, and they played the album in its entirety. Oh my god, I could not believe it. I loved every second of that. I nerded out to it, and I was like, oh yeah, that album is a masterpiece. So obviously they started off with Balls to the Wall, and then I got to hear London Leather Boys, and then the intro came on, and I shouted head over heels, and a guy turned around and stuck his thumb up at me and said, and so they played the whole of Balls to the Wall. My favourite track off that album, which the lyrics are a bit raunchy as you called it, is called Turn Me On, which I sung every lyric to it, and I thought, I'm going to lose my voice for Saxon. And then the last track, which is on the album, is Cold Winter Dreams, which is a like ballad, and it was beautiful. he's still got it in him. I believe it's in his 60s, 70s or something like that, Udo. And he's still absolutely incredible. He had his band with him. I'm not sure who any of the members were because I'm obviously standing at the back and my eyesight's rubbish as well, so couldn't really see. But I believe it's his band through his Dirkschneider, or is it Udo? His solo stuff is banned for that or something like that. But yeah, the album finished, they went off stage, and the encore, I was really looking forward to the encore. And then obviously the song kicked in and he came on stage and said, "Do you want one more? Let's see if everybody knows the encore." Or should I say the intro to this song. And if any of you lot have actually listened to the track Fast as a Shark, which was the encore song, you know the intro song. It's like a German woman singing Haida or something, and she was singing it and everybody sung to it. I sung to every bit of it and I loved every moment of that. But even Fast as a Shark, oh, I was just happy that I got to hear Udo play the entire Balls to the Wall. And after the gig finished, that set, Udo's set, a guy turned around and was like, "Yeah, I could tell you're a big Accept fan." And I said, "Balls to the Wall is a masterpiece." I said, "I loved it. Losing More Than You Can Live, Love Child, that album is just brilliant." But then, yeah, came the headliner, which was a mighty Saxon. They played 2 tracks of Hellfire and Damnation. She got the intro track, Hellfire and Damnation, and then obviously the Prophecy when it kicked off the gig. And then I only played Madame Guillotine off the album. I would have loved to have heard 1066 or something there in Roswell, stuff like that. But I know I've seen them on that tour. I've seen them backing Judas Priest. So I've actually seen them play some stuff off that. But yeah, they played... the first part was like 2 off Hellfire and Damnation and some of their deeper cuts. But they played my favourite Saxon song, which is Dallas 1pm. I was, yes, I'm happy they played it. Sung to every bit of it. Did record a little bit of the, like a minute and some video, so that'll be on my shorts if you want to check that one out. But you can probably hear me when he mentions Dallas 1pm. Hey! I absolutely love that song. It's a masterpiece of a song. And then after they'd done a few of their deeper cuts, they played the entire Wheels of Steel in full. And oh, what a treat for the ears that was. I loved every moment of that. Motorcycle Man, 747, Strangers in the Night, Susie Hold On, Wheels of Steel, Machine Gun. Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. The visuals and all that sort of stuff was absolutely frigging incredible. And then they did an encore. So it was, and the band played on Denim and Leather, Princes of the Night. Oh my God, it was brilliant. I wished they would have played Crusader, but I know they didn't play it, which a load of fans were calling for Crusader. But a 21 set list was absolutely brilliant, and getting to hear them play Denim and Leather again was friggin' awesome. But Biff is 70, I believe he's 76 or something like that, and he's still got it in him. I know he's just overcome cancer, so I'm glad he's overcome and he's beat it. But during the live performance, during the encore or something like that, he turned around, he said to the crowd, he said, "Just thought I'd let you know," he said that the whole of the new album is ready. So they've ready the new album, they've just got to go into the studio and record it. But they've got it all written, everything on paper, ready. They just got to record it. So next year, a brand new Saxon album, which I absolutely cannot wait. And I know next year they're doing Bloodstock Open Air. They're headlining the Thursday. So I get to see Saxon yet again. And I am absolutely loving it. As I show everybody, I've got Saxon on my arm. But some guy in a queue, when I showed this lad my tattoos, he was like, "Oh, cool, Saxon." He said, "That's an awesome tattoo." And then I said, "My Ozzy and my Dio." He said, "You must love them bands." And I said, "Yeah, absolutely love them." But Saxon, though, 20, I believe it's 23 studio albums or something they've got. I've got their entire catalogue. But I said I love Into the Labyrinth. But I said for me, I'd probably say Saxon's favourite album was Strong Arm of the Law. But yeah, the gig was absolutely insane. I dried off as much as I could. During the Wheels of Steel, my good friend Lisa was there with her partner, I think it's Tony or something like that, her partner, or Neil, that was it, her partner Neil, and they were there. And we had a little chat as the gig finished, but I had to shoot off because of the train, because I said to her, I've got to get back because I believe it's got to be the last train. But when I got outside and I buggered off, on the way I checked the app and I realised it was some minutes past midnight was the last one, and I was like, oh, so I had a bit of time. But as I do after a gig, I just went straight to McDonald's, spent like a five, I got a burger and fries, just a bit of food, because for some reason after a gig you always feel you get hungry and all that sort of stuff, peckish for some reason. But then I bought my food, walked out and realised I didn't get a drink or something like that, which I thought I've got plenty of pop, water and squash and all that sort of at home, and I'm only a 23 to 20 to 25 minutes on the train. But it was absolutely incredible, that gig. Got to the train station, my friend, the guy from Spain, came onto the train station and he come up to me and he was like, oh, hello, and we had a little chat, and I said I was thinking about him, hoping that he got into the show, and yeah, he got into the gig, and we had a natter. I was about to ask him, do you have Instagram, Facebook or something like that, but literally the minute I was about to say something, my train was literally coming in and I had to shoot off. So I don't really know the guy's name or something like that. So if I'm going to be posting this on the Saxon thing, so if the guy ever finds this, and let me know your name, because it would be cool to add you on Facebook, because it would be cool to have another gig buddy. You seem pretty cool. But he said he had to rush back to Crewe, because I was literally going to say to him, if you're stuck in Wolverhampton, because, you know, I don't want anybody stuck, because being stuck in the rain and the freezing cold, no. So I was going to say, if he was stuck or something like that, I have a sofa bed, which I'm sitting on right now, and he seemed a very genuinely decent, down-to-earth guy, and I was going to say, I've got a sofa bed, let me just, you know, give the missus and bell and just chat to her and just say, look, you know, explain, and I was going to offer him the sofa bed, but obviously he said his last train was just after 12 and I could see it was running, so hopefully he got home safe to Crewe, which was awesome. And I said the last time I went to Crewe, can't remember the last time I actually went round Crewe, but the once I got stuck in Crewe. Funny story before I end this video. I was living in Rill and I went with my brother to the Halls, which was obviously the Civic at the time. And we both seen the cult, and it was a love anniversary to us, so they played the whole of Love in its entirety and then like a best of. And we went to see that gig and it was absolutely incredible. We got the train back from Wolverhampton to Crewe, and then when we got to Crewe, we thought we'd get the train to Rill. We got to Crewe and realised there was no train, so we were stuck in Crewe and it was freezing and everything. So we were stuck outside the train station. We asked a taxi bloke, £200 for a taxi. Oh, that was a nightmare. So we sat outside the train station, gave my mother a phone. She said a guy was coming from Rill to pick us up with a taxi, and I think it was like 40, 50 quid or something for the taxi, which me and my brother at the time, we were like, we'll go halves in it because we just want to get home. It's 25 each. Is not that bad if you think. So we were got stuck, but then we waited, and around about 6 a.m. that's when finally the taxi driver turned up. And he turned around and said that he was stuck in traffic and whatnot. By the time he turned up, we only had to wait another 20 minutes or something. We could have got the used our ticket and got the bloody train home, but we got back. But yeah, that was a hell of a gig. But the Saxon gig was incredible. That was my third time seeing Saxon, and my first time seeing the mighty Udo Dirkschneider. I've seen Accept live because I've seen him in Manchester. They were supporting Sabaton with Twilight Force as the opening act. All three bands are incredible, but yeah, I think it's Mark Trenil or something like that is the current singer of Accept, which it does the songs justice, but it'll never be an Udo Dirkschneider. His era of Accept, Mark's, is pretty cool. I do like it, but my favourite is obviously Udo era. It was incredible. So for two people that I believe in like the 70s with Saxon and, you know, Biff and Udo, brilliant. And I had a fantastic time, and I can't wait to see them at Bloodstock again. Saxon, so I hope you all enjoyed this mini gig review of my Saxon show. I was absolutely knackered after the gig, so I got back, I think it was like after 1 or something like that, or was it half 12, 1 or something, and then I literally, just as I normally do, I just go straight to bed. I had a wash and all that stuff as you do, and then I just went straight to bed and slept for God knows how long. I managed to actually have a lie-in, which was cool, and I think I got like 7.5 to 8 hours sleep, which is awesome. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this gig review, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you're new to this channel, if you would like to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that sort of cool stuff, because it's many unboxing videos I do, but then I do, you know, like gig reviews, show off my latest haul, do some album reviews, talk about the bands I love, show off my collection, all of that sort of epic stuff. So I'll catch you in the next video. So Power Symphonic saying have yourself a good one, and see you later.